I'm a great proponent of higher education. Um, there is no limit to where I see the potential for my daughter. I would like her to go on to become a physician, a doctor, if you will, a surgeon, um, with all that that encompasses. Um, I would I would be very pleased to see my daughter go all the way. As far as a specific school, um, I'm partial to Harvard. I'm partial to Yale, Stanford, and maybe quite possibly UCLA if the opportunity presented itself. But those are schools that I would really like my daughter to attend. Well, in junior kindergarten at Hillbrook School, I won the Billy Mink Award. And,
Congratulations.
well, thank you. I do believe, however, that it was my first um, race at Cardinal Encanto School in San Jose, California, that put me in contention for the idea that maybe I might be a track star at some future date. Um, it didn't materialize as such, but I did have a very fulfilling athletic year at Loyola Marymount University, and I'm quite happy with where it ended. I have no regrets. You know, I feel that my circle of friends is very close knit, and it's something that was forged over many, many years of experiences in different environments, parties, athletic events, academics, um, and in some cases, very, very sad events, funerals, um, on a more positive note, weddings, birth of children. Um, I think it's a very intimate relationship that I have with those friends that I've grown up with uh, throughout several years. And I would hope that Jenna had a very similar experience to my own as it relates to the people that she became or becomes close to, because it was a situation in which I never felt betrayed. And that is a very comforting feeling when you surround yourself with really good friends that you can trust. You know, growing up, I never did drugs or um,
Spoken
drank
like a true
alcohol.
father.
Yeah, I feel like things that alter the mind were always off limits for me, and it worked for me. I had great friends, and I didn't have to do those things to be the life of the party or have people accept me. And I would only hope that my daughter could lead a clean life in her development through college and high school, and not do those things, alcohol, drugs, and smoking, things of that nature, and still be able to forge great relationships and great friends, and not feel as though she's odd odd girl out or odd man out because she doesn't partake in those things. Um, I think it's truly important for one's own character to be able to socialize without having to do those things. Absolutely. I didn't lose a thing for having not been involved in drugs and alcohol and smoking.
But you were in a fraternity, and in a fraternity, Pi Kappa Alpha, that certainly, like many fraternities, had all of those different elements, but it still didn't hurt your relationships there.
Absolutely not. All the more to, I guess, punctuate my point, it's you don't have to do those things in order to be accepted. Um, I did pretty much any and everything you could do as an athlete, as a fraternity student, as a scholar in school. That and at no time did it require that I felt the need to drink alcohol or to do drugs at any time. I have a great love and respect for travel. Thailand was one of my first overseas experiences, and it gave me an opportunity to see other cultures in an environment which was truly indigenous to those that live there, and it made me feel more worldly, and so I had fond moments of being in Thailand, and learning the culture, and I definitely would say that it's because of my youth at the time that I have such fond memories. If I were being completely honest with you, my hobby is poetry. I love to write. I feel that my writing is a window to my soul and the feelings and emotions that I'm going through at that particular time, whether they be through vicarious or firsthand knowledge. I feel that it's my poetry that tends to define each moment in my life in some way.
Have you always enjoyed writing poetry, or when you were younger, did you used to be a reader? Did you read a lot, or did you write a lot creatively? When did this come about?
I didn't truly become a writer of poetry until I would say my sophomore year in college. I remember writing a poem to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and a good friend of mine named Carlos Maples gave it to him before his house burned down, and I wrote that one when I was very, very young. But when I found that poem, I was a sophomore in college, and I decided that my buddy would give it to him, and I decided that I would write again, and I would try to put as much of my heart into the writing, just to I guess become more connected with my inner self.
Did you ever find out if Kareem Abdul-Jabbar received your poem?
He actually did. Carlos told me that he had given it to him in the locker room, and I still wonder to this day if he still has it or not, but it was something that I was encouraged that he received. It was when I was really young when I had written that one, so I feel like I've evolved quite a bit since that day, but my poetry is the window by which I define my life and my experiences.
Harold, what have you learned in life, about life, by having Jenna?
I've learned to be unselfish. I've learned to show patience. I've learned that each moment, each day is precious, and to always be appreciative of the little things. May angels light the way. I wish to bring you happiness. I pray this for you soon. And as each day becomes the night, may angels light the moon. And if by chance we meet again and blessings light the way, may God step in and fill our hearts with love to mark each day.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind?